Da-da-da-dum. All right, hippies. What time is it? Is it time to get back to business? Why, it sure is time to get back to business. It's time for Student of the Gun Radio, and welcome back to Thursday. Well, welcome back to it. You've already been in it. Welcome back to the show. What?
You can't say that on family-friendly ratings.
What? No, you're already into Thursday. What are you talking about? My mind doesn't go to where your mind goes. My mind is pure.
Yeah. As he looks down when he says that.
No, I didn't. I just looked down just because.
Yeah.
No, I was actually polling a special song for tomorrow's bonus hour.
Okay.
And I put the link to the special song for tomorrow. I'm not even going to tell you what it is. So I'm going to tell you.
Then it wouldn't be special.
That's right, because if you're a grad program member, then you will know tomorrow. But if you're not, then I guess you won't know. You'll just have to ask somebody. You can ask them.
You don't want to ask people.
Don't ask them. I want to ask them. Yeah, you know, I like in what's that? Futurama, where Leela and Fry were talking, and he said something about, and he's like, she said, "Oh, ask them. Is that kind of like ask?" Yeah, that's. It's kind of like ask. All right, today we're going to talk about tolerate your head right off. We're going to talk about so we got some slave state news for you. And yeah, there's another somebody with a big D behind their name wants to punish people who own inanimate objects. You're like, what? There's no way. We have Uber news.
Oh, wow.
We have Uber news. Yeah. We have Uber news.
If you guys, as a complete aside, actually it's not a complete aside, that made me think of it. If you guys haven't heard of Flula, look him up on YouTube.
What?
He does this thing called Auto-Tunes.
Oh, Auto-Tunes? Yeah, Auto-Tunes.
He did it with Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Sir Mix-a-Lot. Oh, dude. Have we ever put that?
No, but we need to. We need to find a reason. Somebody give us a reason.
Give us a reason to put Sir Mix-a-Lot. That's right.
Pictures.
We
have an email you can send pictures to.
We could do that for Shannon.
No.
We already got
that would be a
we already got the Shannon ones.
Yeah.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome to Student of the Gun Radio. It comes to you semi-live. It's live when we do it. It's not necessarily live when you hear it. From the Glass Case of Emotion Studios, which is located at Student of the Gun University here on the sunny Gulf Coast of Biloxi. You know what is sick and twisted? It's so hot down here that during the show break, I went outside. You know, it was pouring rain. And I went outside, and the sun had come out, and there was rain, and there was steam.
It was worse.
There was steam rolling across the blacktop of the parking lot here at Student of the Gun University. Yeah.
Did you say like blacktop at Student of the Gun
University?
Diversity? What?
University.
Oh, okay. That's how diverse we are here.
You're an idiot. And in addition to you being an idiot, we are brought to you by Velocity Triggers now. Seriously, before we get into it, all the hilarity and insight and information, Velocity Triggers. You got a black rifle? They got a trigger for you. You can install it at your own workbench. That's right. At your kitchen table if your wife will let you, or if your husband will let you. If you're the woman, if you're a woman and you're the gun person in the house, you also have a wife. What else? Oh, can I say that? Is that like skinny jeans? Like when your husband wears his skinny jeans, does he have you hold his purse? VelocityTriggers.com. Check those guys out. Brown, are you just ignoring me deliberately over there?
Yes, I actually am.
Brownells.com. Check those guys out. If you have a gun, they have something for you. Even if you don't have a gun, they still have something for you. And make sure that you're checking out their new products list. Yes, the new products list at Brownells. It's super simple, and they're always adding to it. Those guys are exploding. They're going big time out there in Iowa. They actually have 3 separate facilities now in Iowa. So, I mean, I guess there's a lot of room in Iowa to build stuff. And Frog Lube, it just works. It's a non-petroleum-based food grade. It is food grade. I mean, I don't know if I'd want to eat it, but it's not going to hurt you. It's green, it's minty fresh, and it keeps your guns running like they should be. Check those guys out at froglube.com. All right, kid. Well, I've been vamping. I've been thanking our sponsors for providing us with pop filters and black carbon steel microphones and shock absorbers and the the cool glass in the glass case of emotion.
Did you guys see the first video in the Faith and the Patriot series?
That's right. If you haven't seen the first video in the Faith and the Patriot series, now, Jared, if they jump in and if they go ahead and subscribe to the newsletter, can they still catch up?
You gotta go to studentofthegun.com and just follow the instructions there. Watch that video, follow the instructions that Dad gives you in the video, and you'll be able to continue to get updates about the video series. There's
That's
4
right.
videos in the series. We're going to be on 2, actually today. Thursday is going to be the second video release. So if
Yep.
you want to jump in there, watch video 1. Video 2 will be released shortly.
This is not something that you're going to want to miss if you consider yourself a faithful person, if you consider yourself a patriot, even if you don't consider yourself, well, I mean, I don't consider myself a what if you're like an Easter or Christmas, an Easter Christian or an Easter Jew? Are there such a thing as Easter Jews? No? I have to ask Alex about that. But anyway, check it out. Faith and the Patriot. The book is coming. This is the launch. This is what happens. So you want to make sure that you're not missing out on this. All right, Jared, are you ready to bump me in with one of my all-time favorite update themes?
I might be.
You might be. Well, let me know if you are, because I'm going to go ahead and open up the show notes. I'm going to open up the story notes because I can't wait to share this with our friends.
Anarchy for the UK is coming sometime. Maybe I give a wrong time. Stop a traffic line. Your future dream is a shopping scheme. 'Cause I
Wanna be anarchy. Thank you, Sex Pistols. Thank you, Sex Pistols, for anarchy in the UK. And when I was a 13-year-old listening to that song, I never could have imagined that someday I would have my very own show, and I would be using that on it. And that, of course, is our Merry Old England theme song. Now, as you know by now, the Muslim missionaries have been at it again. Those wascally Muslim missionaries, they're out spreading their message of peace and brotherhood. Just like Comrade Barry said. Well, they went to Tunisia, and they decided to spread their message of peace and brotherhood by murdering dozens of people. I know, shock face, right? Well, many of the dozens of people that were murdered were Britons. They were from the United Kingdom. And the British Prime Minister has weighed in on this. Now, when I first saw this story, I'm like, hang on a second. Every time representatives of the religion of peace and brotherhood go on a rampage in England or Scotland or Wales or what have you, I know my geography, don't write letters. Or do write me letters, I don't care. Every time they go on a rampage, the first thing, they can't get to the microphones fast enough to make excuses for these Muslim missionaries. Oh, we don't know that this is related to Islam, and we don't want to jump to conclusions, and we don't know that this is terrorism. A dude runs around screaming Aloha Snack Bar, chops off an old lady's head with a knife, and the first thing they say is, this is not an act of terrorism, and this is not related to Islam. What? So, this story comes to us from thetelegraph.co.uk. Tunisia attack. David Cameron calls for fight back against intolerance as 30 Britons confirmed dead. All right. I got my head's kind of like swimming around this thing here. He calls for fight back against intolerance. Well, let's see exactly what David Cameron is saying here. The Prime Minister has called for the UK to be intolerant of extremist Islam, as more than 30 Britons confirmed to have died in Tunisian beach massacre. All right, here we go. And this is a story by Peter Dominiczak, political editor, and a bunch of other people. Britain must become intolerant, in quotes, of extremist Islam and, quote, be stronger at standing up for our values. Jared, someone comes in your house, smashes in your front door, and starts murdering your children, and your thing is, you say, I'm going to be stronger at standing up for my values. That is my solution to rapists, robbers, and murderers. I'm going to be stronger at standing up for our values. What kind of weird pacifist think-speak is that? As it emerged, more than 30 Britons were killed in the Tunisian beach massacre. Writing exclusively for The Telegraph, the Prime Minister said Britain is united in shock and in grief. How are you united in shock? Brother, I'm not trying to be a dick here, but the fact is your country is awash with psychotic goat rapists. You've just let them in by the thousands. They have claimed portions of your country as their own. And you're shocked? We're shocked. How does this happen? This is the first indication that we're getting that these people are prone to violence. What? All right, now going on, it says, now this is the weird quote, and I thought, okay, maybe Cameron is searching. He's searching desperately for his testicles here, right? He's trying to locate his testicles and secure them. Mr. Cameron indicates that the government is now preparing to take a far more hardline approach towards tackling extremism, as families across the country discover that they have been affected by the worst terrorist atrocity to hit Britain in almost a decade. Didn't the goat rapists blow up a bunch of subway trains in Britain just within the last 10 years? I don't know, maybe. Now, here's the thing. I thought that the Prime Minister here was actually going to reach down, find the testicles, and get hardcore with these dudes, but...
Man, I wish our water looked like that.
Oh, well, go to Tunisia, man. In his article, the Prime Minister says that we can only defeat... Now listen to this, Jared. We can only defeat terrorism by promoting British values of peace, democracy, tolerance, and freedom. Every one of those an empty word, an empty term. You don't defeat terrorists by enhancing and promoting the values of peace, democracy, tolerance, and freedom. We must be stronger at standing up for our values of peace, democracy, tolerance, and freedom, he says. We must be more intolerant of intolerance.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, this is so weak. Oh, can you imagine this? You come home and you discover that a member of your family, and I mean, Britons are a member of the British family here, that a member of your family has been murdered. Not just like, poisoned or run over, just like slaughtered like an animal. And your response is, in response to my family member being murdered, I've decided that I'm going to be more intolerant of intolerance. Rejecting anyone whose views condone the Islamist extremist narrative and create the conditions for it to flourish. Oh, this is so weak.
What'd you expect?
It's so we must strengthen our institutions that put dudes. Here's the deal. I can't even read this anymore. It is so weak. Even when they're trying to strike a hard line, it's so weak. Folks, seriously, if you are in Great Britain right now,
and I know that there's a couple of you.
I know you're out there.
There's at least,
I know you freaks are
There's at
listening
least
to me.
4 of you over there.
There's at least 4.
I figure I put the number low, so I know I'm right.
Yeah, at least 4, probably more.
There's a lot more than that.
Yeah, I know. But do you explain to me how your leader is so weak and flaccid? Or is it flaccid? I don't know. Or flaccid? You didn't watch the... that's a joke from...
Did you know that terrorists hate free media, minorities, rights of minorities, democracy, and rule of law? Did you know that?
Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, sweet Buddha on a rubber raft.
So
the Queen is shocked. The Queen sent condolence letters to the families, and the Duke of Edinburgh is shocked.
The Queen said, what about the shocker?
No.
Oh.
The Queen...
Oh, she is shocked.
Be respectful. Has sent her condolences to the families, saying the attack left her and the Duke of Edinburgh shocked. They're shocked. How are you shocked? That's like saying, hey, my out-of-work alcoholic brother-in-law stole $50 from my wallet so he can get booze. I'm shocked. I can't believe that. I'm shocked that the Muslim missionaries set to killing. I'm shocked. This is my shock face.
Holy crap.
Because, let me see, Mr. Cameron, every time one of these Muslim missionaries goes out and murders your people, the first thing your weak, spineless government does is run cover for them. The first thing you do is send out minions to jump in front of microphones and say, we must be tolerant, we must accept other people, we must not blame one group of people for the actions of a few, we must blah, 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 blah. This is what you get from tolerance, moron. You're reaping the benefits of your tolerance campaign. When you open your country up and just allow these 7th century mongrels to flood in and seize control of your cities. There are places in London that you can't even go to unless you're a Muslim missionary, goat rapist, whatever. It's sick. It's twisted. And forget about the people. The people have been long since neutered. I mean, they've long since been neutered. They get slaughtered. This dude, all right, Jared, does this dude not remember one of his soldiers having his freaking head chopped off on the street in broad daylight by a Muslim missionary? The dude, and everyone just standing around with phones? Then the dude goes over with his bloody knife and gives a manifesto to the freaking phone camera. And they praise the people with the phones for maintaining order. You've got psycho goat rapists running around your country, killing your citizens, and you've decided that it's time to be intolerant of intolerance. What? Just give up. Raise the white flag already. Yeah. It's I don't even know what to say about that. That's so stupid. It hurts my. It's so weak. It hurts my brain. All right, hey, we got Uber news. We have Uber news, and the dateline on this is June 29th, 2015, and this story comes to us from the OrlandoSentinel.com. Oh, you nasty, nasty freaking pop-up ad on my thing. I just love you pop-up ads.
Yep, aren't they awesome?
Don't you love? And you know what? I love these folks that have what do you call it? Where they block out the story, they cover it up. They give you like the title, and they're like, if you'd like to read more, subscribe to. No, I'll just go somewhere else.
Yeah.
I'll just go to another
There's
website.
Plenty of.
Thank you very much, because I guarantee this story has been shared 1,000 times. Uber driver shot attacker in the foot, Clearwater cops say. Ooh, in the foot. An Uber driver who was being choked by a passenger shot him in the foot Sunday in Clearwater Beach, police said. Stephen Rayau, 74, stopped his vehicle at the 400 block of Mandalay Avenue around 10 p.m. while working for the app-based driver service to pick up a passenger, according to the release from Clearwater Police Department. Rayau and the passenger, Mark Gregory Mermel, 60, began arguing and it turned physical, police said. Mermel choked Rayau, who pulled a gun from his waistband, police said. As the struggle continued, the gun went off. I like how they put that in there. The gun went off. Not that he shot him, not that, but the gun went off. Bang. And Mermel was hit in the foot. Dude, that's got to be some kind of crazy physics. So you think about it, you're like, I mean, unless he let the guy get in the front seat with him. I can't imagine that. That would be kind of creepy, wouldn't it? Like, you pull up and you're like, hey, climb in, buddy. And we're like, no, it's okay. Stranger, I think. I mean, I know this Uber thing is all cool and all the hipsters are doing it, but I think I'll sit in the back seat. How about you? And I don't know if I'd be like, yeah, jump in the front, bro. Whatever. So anyway, Mermel was taken to St. Joseph's Hospital and treated for his wound. Rao has a concealed weapons permit, and the police are continuing to investigate.
So if he didn't have a concealed weapons permit, then it would have been. It would have ended differently.
I don't know. Well, he probably would have been choked the F out. I mean, the dude's 74. I mean, he might be pretty spry. I mean, I don't know. Here's what I do know: that the photo that they have attached to this is not actually a photo from the story.
I was like, what the?
But those two people need to be ground up and used as fertilizer.
Yep. If you guys want to see that picture, go to StudentTheGunRadio.com, click on 201, and then the link in there, the source.
Yeah.
Look at that picture.
That's fertilizer right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no useful purpose for those humans other than to provide nourishment for plant life. That's what I'm going to tell you. You know what? I wonder if, well, it says he pulled it from his waistband, so I don't know where it was, but he might have been carrying a crossbreed holster. Then again, he might not have. But guess what? I'm wearing a Super Tuck right now. Yes, I am. If you want to carry a gun, you're thinking, I need to be carrying a gun on me. Well, good. Step number 1 is acknowledging that. Step number 2 is going to crossbreedholsters.com and checking out all their wares. If you wish and desire to secure a gun to your body in some form or fashion, or put it in a bag or a purse or something, go to Crossbreed Holsters. They can hook you up. I guarantee you they have a method of securing a gun to your body or whatever else it is you want to secure a gun to. They can help you. CrossbreedHolsters.com. Century Arms, the makers of the C39, 100% made in the USA, AK-47. Check them out at CenturyArms.com. And if you haven't checked them out lately, you're wrong, because they spent a lot of time and effort redoing their website. If you went to their website 2 or 3 years ago, you're like, whoa, and you had to hold your nose because you're like, man, this website stinks. This website stinks on ice. It did stink on ice. But guess what? They put some time, effort, and money into rejuvenating their website, and it looks pretty darn good right now. So check those guys out. SWAT Fuel. Special weapons and tactics for the body. You want to be physically fit? You do? Good. I want to be physically fit as well. And I use SWAT Fuel, and so should you. Check those guys out at SWATfuel.com. They just redid their store recently. When you check out, you say, I'm into it. I'm down. I'm gonna buy a bottle of that 9mm plus PE, what have you. Oh, and Dr. Dan says it is okay to mix the red and the blue pills. You are allowed. The red is the fat burner, and the blue is the plus P. It's the fat burner plus energy.
This pill is royal blue.
Okay, they're big fat liar or liar.
Sorry. I can't hear the word blue without
blue. No.
Yeah.
And what are they going to use? Are they just going to like put their name in as a promo code, or what are they going to use, Jared? You got to tell them.
You can put in whatever you want as a promo code, but I know one that works, and it's SOTG2015. That'll get you 10% off your entire order. And they have books there now. They have, well, a book. I don't know if there's books, plural, but they have a book. They got clothing. They got apparel for kids. They got women's apparel. They got, what else they got? Male apparel,
yes.
Male and female apparel. Like
hey, if you want to see my interview with Dr. Dan, where he tells us all about SWAT Fuel and what's it about, Dr. Dan is a smart dude. It's up on Full30.com right now.
Yep,
if you want to watch some,
Full30.com/student of the gun.
That's right. Go to Full30.com, click on it, like it, share it, tweet it, whatever it is you do. Thumbs up it, tumble it. I'll tumble for you. All right, Jared, it's time to move on. He just shook his head at me.
I don't
like
know
I'm
what
stupid.
we're moving on to.
Look at the show notes. And we've got an update theme. Update theme. Yeah. This is one we just can't get away from it because, quite frankly, people in slave states keep doing stupid things.
I like to teach you all the rules. I get to see them set in stone. I like it when you chain me to the bed, but then you see it's
The source for this is guns.com. Thank you, guns.com, for giving us the source material. Schumer vows list of gun control measures in response to Charleston. You like how these guys kind of like, they fade away and they're quiet and you don't hear anything else from them. And then the moment there's blood on the streets, they're jump in front of a microphone. This guy is one of the most disgusting political opportunist puke faces on planet Earth. And it's really sick and disgusting that you tax slaves up there in New York keep reelecting this turd. Don't you call me on that. I didn't vote for Chuck Schumer. No, but all those other freaking slaves down in New York did. Yeah, and that's what you've got. You've got U.S. Senator Chuck Schumer, Democrat, New York, although that is a bit redundant, is calling for a host of new measures from background checks to magazine bans. What? Oh, you're thinking, I know what you guys were thinking. You were thinking, but New York already has all of that. The state of New York already has, they have the SAFE Act, which has made the New York just this wonderful, happy rainbow place to live, right? Not so much really, but whatever. It makes us feel good. No. Chucky, little Chucky Schumer, he doesn't want that just for New York. They've already screwed with the people of New York enough. They've already got the collar and leash around the slaves up there in New York State. No, he wants to spread his special brand of stupidity to the whole United States of America via the U.S. Senate. Thanks again, New York, for sending us this turd. The senior senator from New York announced that he would help lead a charge to mandate Brady-style background checks on private gun sales, limit sales of some types of magazines, and increase reporting. Jared, all right, hang on a second. If you walk into a building full of unarmed people, does it matter how many bullets you start out with in the gun? No. Some reports of the Charleston massacre said that this guy reloaded up to 5 times.
5 times.
So riddle me this, Sparky. Riddle me this there, Chucky. How is restricting magazine capacity going to stop murder? Isn't murder already against the law? Should we not be concerned with oh, that's right. When you're a Democrat, you don't concern yourself with the actions of humans. We cannot hold humans responsible for their behavior unless the humans are white Christians. Now, if the humans are white, male, and Christian, we can persecute the crap out of them. But anybody else, they get a pass. We're not going to hold them responsible for their behavior. We're going to go ahead and attack the inanimate objects. There's too many inanimate objects out there. Schumer recently endorsed to succeed Harry Reid as the Senate Democrat leader. Again, congratulations, New York. And the author of the 1993 bill that brought mandatory background checks to over-the-counter sales cited a recent mass killing in Charleston as a reason to renew the push for more gun control. That's right. Here we go. You guys, are you ready for a quote from Chucky? Are you sitting down? Do you have the duct tape to wrap your brain to keep your head from exploding? All right. According to the all-knowing, all-wise Democrat scumbag puke face from New York, thank you again, quote, if there is anything that the massacres in South Carolina, Newtown, Virginia Tech, Aurora, and so many other places have taught us, it's that we should be doing everything in our power to prevent weapons from falling into the hands of hateful evildoers and the mentally disturbed, such as Democrat voters. Oh, he didn't say that. Schumer said in a statement on Monday. Continuing his quote, it makes no difference when guns are sold or who are selling them, when we must prevent deadly weapons from falling into the wrong hands. You mean like all those gangbangers in Chicago that are murdering each other like it's Christmas time? Every holiday weekend, Jared, do you know why the holiday weekends get the most press in Chicago?
Because they have the most murders?
No. Because unlike regular weekends, Labor Day weekend, Memorial Day weekend, 4th of July weekend, those are all, they count those as the weekend is an extended weekend. So they can lump all the either the Friday or the Monday shootings into the Saturday, Sunday shootings and call it the deadliest weekend in the last 3 months.
Oh.
So yeah, every time there's a holiday weekend in Chicago or Baltimore or anywhere in New Jersey or New York or, let's not leave out Philadelphia or anywhere else. Now, does Chucky actually expect us to believe that all of the psycho, gangbangers, lunatics, monsters, filth bags that populate the Democrat-controlled cities of Detroit, Chicago, New York, et al., do I need to go on, Baltimore, that all of those people, all those human scumbags, that they got their guns by going to gun shops and showing their IDs and filling out the paperwork. That's how they did it. No, they got them by going to gun shows and using the gun show loophole. Hey, Chucky, is it legal to manufacture, sell, and distribute methamphetamines in New York? Oh, no, it's 100% illegal. And as a matter of fact, we're so tough on meth sales that you can't buy cold medicine without going up to the counter and asking the pharmacist to give it to you now. How is that working out for you? Essentially, there's no meth on the streets of the cities of America, right, Jared? Because it's illegal and you can't sell it. According to the law, you can't do it.
Yeah. So nobody
Wow,
does it.
I didn't know that. I did not realize that the meth problem had been solved. The crack problem is over because it's illegal to manufacture, sell, distribute crack in Chicago, New York, et al. So because there's a law against it, the evil in our society don't make it and sell it. Oh, they still do? Do you mean to tell me that Chuck might be actually using this to grandstand, and instead of punishing the criminals who are not going to be affected at all by whatever it is Chucky and his cohorts come up with, that it's only going to affect lawful gun owners, lawful Americans, American patriots? I cannot believe that I live in a nation that in 2015 that any thinking person could listen to this guy for 3 seconds and not know that he's just full of it. And that he can still get in front of a microphone. See, that's just the sick and disturbing thing, Jared, is that this piece of crap can get in front of a microphone or write an op-ed piece and hand it over to the Times or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, you're wonderful. We'll run this piece of propaganda for you." And nobody ever raises their hand and says, "Dude, we've been playing this gun control game for 50 years, and we've seen no discernible effect on criminal behavior through gun control. The only people that this affects are the people that are basically follow the law. Doesn't stop criminals, doesn't stop murderers, doesn't. How does this law, Jared? I'm curious. Help me through this.
Okay.
How does this law apply, or these proposed laws? Now, he's talking about magazine capacity limits. What did they have full capacity, standard capacity magazines on all the AKs, AR-15s, and different rifles that the United States Department of Justice, through the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, Explosives, and Potato Chips, when they funneled all those guns into the hands of Mexican drug cartels, do you suppose they had reduced limited capacity magazines?
No, I'm going to go with no.
Now, when the ATF winked and nodded and approved the thousands of gun sales, which they knew, absolutely 100% knew, without a doubt, it is not even a disputable fact. It's not even disputable. That they knew they were going directly to the hands of Mexican drug cartels. They knew it was going to happen. They allowed it to happen. And then when it got out of hand, they ran for cover and started blaming other people. Oh, well, mistakes were made, but our intentions were good. No, your intentions were to funnel guns into the hands of Mexican drug cartels and then use the evidence of cartel violence to force gun control on the American people. That's what your intentions were. So what good does it do for little Chucky and his friends to get all the wrap themselves in the morality flag, that get on their high horses, pass new laws when their own government, Chucky, I got an idea. Someone call Chucky's office and ask Chucky what he's doing about Fast and Furious and Wide Receiver. Ask Chucky how many people in the Department of Justice have been brought up on charges for deliberately funneling guns. There are dead Americans. There are Americans that are dead because Chucky's Department of Justice, and he's been in there long enough to be in charge, funneled guns into those hands. How many people, Chucky, have you indicted? How many people in the Department of Justice have gone to jail for that? How many people have been held responsible for Officer Brian Terry's death? We need a cricket sound effect. You need a special button that says cricket.
That is true.
Cricket. Cricket. Yeah. So, tell you what, Chucky, I'll make you a deal. You conduct a full, thorough, inside-out, upside-down investigation of the United States DOJ and the ATF. And once you've charged, indicted, and jailed the people that were responsible for Fast and Furious and Wide Receiver, once you do that, then you can come back to me and talk about new laws. Because when your government is violating the laws of the nation and just yawning and moving on with their lives, but you're going to look at me and say, oh, you peasants need greater restrictions on your liberty. We need to make sure you peasants don't get the guns into the wrong hands. Oh, I'm about to lose it. Do you mean like the tens of thousands of guns that were funneled from the United States into the freedom fighters, in the Muslim freedom fighters in Egypt, and the Arab Spring freedom fighters in Libya, and the Arab Spring freedom fighters in Syria? You mean all of those guns that ended up in the hands of Islamic terrorists that are now being used to slaughter and murder hundreds, thousands of people across the world? And the United States of America, the U.S. government, has their fingerprints. They bought and paid for those guns with U.S. taxpayer dollars, shipped them to the Muslim freedom fighters in Libya. Chucky, come back to me after you've investigated that. After you've investigated how United States military manufactured M16A2 rifles ended up in the hands of ISIS fighters. Yeah, after you figure that out, come talk to me about guns getting in the wrong hands. We need to do everything. What did that Dick Nozzle say? Can I say that?
Yeah, whatever.
Am I pushing the limits when I say the nozzle? I'm gonna go back to this freaking puke face's quote here.
Which one? They're all stupid.
Oh well, it says about yada yada yada. I'm a piece of crap. Okay, we must prevent deadly weapons from falling into the wrong hands. Apparently, Mexican drug cartels and Islamic terrorists, ISIS people, apparently in Chucky's world, those aren't the wrong hands. Apparently, those are the right hands. So, who do you think Chucky thinks is the wrong hands? Maybe it's you and I, Mr. and Mrs. America. I don't know. All right, we got time for one more story. It's called Monsters Among Us. We don't have a theme song for Monsters Among Us, but, this happened in the South. Do you want to use it? Do you have our Southern our Southern theme song ready? Can you put it in there?
I can real quick.
Okay, because this happened in Macon, Georgia. That's right. That's below the Mason-Dixon line for those of you up north. Which orchestra is responsible for playing that? Does it say?
That just says Confederate National Anthem, Dixieland.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, this story comes to us from www.macon.com. Report. Macon Walmart mob wanted to see how much damage it could do. Well, how wonderful is that? A story by Joe Kovac Jr., and it says, surveillance video of a wee hours ruckus. It actually says wee hours in the story. You gotta love the South. Surveillance video of a wee hours ruckus at a Macon Walmart on Sunday shows a teenager race inside, flashing gang signs ahead of a mob of 4 dozen or so people. And for those of you that went to public school in the last 20 years, 4 dozen would be approximately 48. Well, 4 dozen even would be 48. So let's just say about 50 people, who burst in and smashed merchandise. The commotion caused an estimated $2,000 in damage. Appears to have been planned. Some in the crowd also snatched a man, apparently a shopper at the Zebulon Road store, from a motorized shopping cart and dragged him to the floor. Well, isn't that wonderful? Said Bibb County Sheriff officials on Monday. The vandals said to number between 40 and 50, sprinted down the store's aisles about 1:50 a.m. Sunday, destroying merchandise items and displays, said a sheriff's deputy. Floors in part of the store were coated with broken merchandise. The length of the store from the front to rear was lined with items that had been shattered, destroyed, turned over, or thrown about. When sheriff's deputies got there, the crowd began to flee in different vehicles and leave the scene. The store next to Lowe's is just east of Interstate 475 in one of the area's most frequented shopping districts. The teenager seen leading the rushing horde of young men and women into Walmart, employee said this is...
They told a Walmart employee.
Told the Walmart employee that this was planned event to see how much damage they could cause. The teen identified in the photo, and here's what I want you guys to do. Seriously, I want you guys, if you're not following Student of the Gun Facebook or Paul Markle Facebook or whatever, go to the story, open the link, and I want you to take a look at this young lad, at this young teen. And I want you to tell me what you see. Do you see remorse? Do you see shame? No, I don't see remorse. I don't see shame. I see a challenge. I see someone who's looking at me saying, what are you going to do about it? Nothing. That's what you're going to do. Let me see. His name is 17-year-old Karan Nathan Green of Ashton Drive in Bibb County. He was arrested when he returned to the store to retrieve his... cell phone. Let that be a lesson to you kids. If you want to go on a wilding expedition, make sure you secure your phone and don't drop it in the store. So he thought, hey man, where's my phone? Oh, I think I left it in Walmart. I'm going to go back to the store that I just vandalized, and I'm going to look for my phone. Yes, America. America, you've got to be so proud. I mean, Macon, you have to be so proud. Wow. Green was jailed and later released on bond after being charged with inciting a riot and second-degree property damage. Being 17 years old, how much time do you think that this puke-faced scumbag animal is going to spend in jail?
For that, nothing.
Nothing. He will get an attorney. They will plead him out. They will give him community service, time served, and a fine that he will never, ever, ever pay off. Okay. Green, according to sheriff's deputies, first told cops that he did not know anything about what had happened in the store and that he did not know anyone involved. But when his father and mother arrived and watched the surveillance photos of the sheriff's deputies, he admitted that he was a male in the video, that the male in the video was indeed him. Okay. All right. He refused to name names of other people in the crowd, yada, yada, yada. Folks, why did I share this story with you? I shared that story with you to remind you that if you think, well, I'm just going to run to get some groceries, I'm just going to run and do this. What is that little acronym that somebody who looks a lot like me came up with? Something like ARTR, like any reason to riot. You remember when I did that? We did that, what, a year ago, and were accused of fear-mongering? You guys are just trying to gin people up and fear-monger. That doesn't actually happen. Maybe one time, or 2 or 3 or a dozen times, or, frequently, whatever, but that's just an isolated incident. That's no reason to think that just because you go out in public, you should have a gun on you. Yeah. So there you go. We thought you'd appreciate knowing that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That puts the cork right back in Student of the Gun Radio for yet another day. But for those of you that are bonus hour recipients, you're not going to want to miss tomorrow. Well, you never do, because you're bonus hour people, your grad program, and you don't miss them. Right? Well, you might miss them during the week. Wink, nod, play on words. But we're going to be talking about tomorrow, Friday, we're going to talk about gun-toting traders. That's right, gun-toting traders. We're going to talk about, we got a special song for you that I dropped in there. And things that I just can't say during the week because they're restricted for the ears of big boys and big girls. All right, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, thank you for joining us. Make sure you watch the show on Roku. Make sure you go to Full 30, Gun District, studentofthegun.com, watch the video series, download the app, do all that stuff, and you'll be good to go. All right, you're a beginner once, a student for life.